to the second episode of the Salon Beauty channel. I'm excited today because my team and I are going to be interviewing Tina Ferringer with F&H Fitness. She's been a big influence in our town with health, mind, and body, and now she's working on becoming a motivational speaker and teaching other people to hustle. So it's really cool that we get to interview her in this stage of her career. She's always supported us with Unified Beauty over the many years to raise money for Wigs and Wishes. This year we were going to partner with other salons in town and around the state and distributors to bring awareness to the Fairbanks Resource Agency, FRA, and their arts department plays a very vital role in mental health and to be able to use art as an outlet. And so unfortunately this year was postponed because of the COVID, but we do have this year's sweaters out. My team and I are going to be wearing them during the interview, but all the funds are still going to go to support FRA. And next year, who we're going to be bringing up Nicholas French, and that just got postponed too. We're actually going to be interviewing him next week, and he's going to be teaching and showing some of the things that he was going to bring to us this year. So a little teaser for next year's Unified Beauty. Dates are coming out soon. I wanted to give you guys a kind of a teaser on the next tutorial I'm going to be doing. It's going to be on round brushing, how to brush your hair like a professional and round brush it and style it, how to keep that hold, what products to use, and many more things. So that's going to be coming soon. Also, Annika came in and put a great video on what we have for our retail products and gave some good opinions about certain things. So we're going to be bringing that to you too a little bit more. And also on the salonandstudio.com, our webpage, we're going to be having all of our products on a mall where you'll be able to shop the website and it'll be delivered directly to your house. Salon Wax out of Anchorage is helping take care of some of the shipping costs, and we are going to accrue the other percent of it. So the products will come directly to your door, no cost shipping to you. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, cool. Well, Riley's going to start it off with a very important message. Riley?
It's important for you to remember that we are only in control of our own reaction. Structure is key. Start and end your day at a certain time and organize your day hour by hour. This virus is very unpredictable and we need to be more predictability in our life. So get out your cookbooks and make a nice meal, or say to yourself at 9 a.m. every morning, I'm going to do yoga, weightlifting, etc. Continue to be social over the internet and try to organize your internal lives because our external life is in chaos.
Great. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to start and see what the team's been up to this last week. Riley, what have you been up to?
I have honestly not been doing a lot. I purchased a coloring book and I've colored a lot of like motivational sayings in it. I've made a gross amount of pastries between brownies, cookies, like those little puff pastries where you put like Nutella and stuff in them. My apartment's never been so clean, so I guess that's a little fun thing. And then I turned my cubby hole that just started to collect stupid little knickknacks. I cleared that out and I made it into like a Zen boho reading nook. So
nice.
Got some things checked off my list.
Sweet. Spring cleaning done. Check.
Basically.
So Annika, what have you been up to?
I have just been hanging out with my kid a lot. We are working on potty training and she's killing it. So that's really exciting. I've been able to dedicate time to yoga every single day, which has been really nice. Painting and arts and crafting and just kind of keeping busy. But it's kind of easy to keep busy when you have a 2-year-old running around. So just hanging out with her. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Lucy Lou, did she get back down to her nap or is she up?
She's hanging out on the couch right now. So if she comes and interrupts, guys, I'm sorry, but nap was early today.
I'll always use another guest. All right, so Britt, what's you been up to?
A lot of cleaning, just every day, just picking up little things around the house and reorganizing. When Hayden has cheer, she does virtual cheer now. I usually work out on the elliptical, so it pushes me to do the elliptical for an hour, 2 days a week.
You've been doing a good job.
Hell. Thanks. And then other than that, I've been working on a new art collection that will be available at The Vintage Junkie online. It's shopthevintagejunkie.com since she can't have her store open. So I'll show you a couple pieces that I've been doing. So it's more like a intimate women's collection. So here's one.
Nice.
And then this one.
Beautiful.
And this one. For Riley.
Very sexy.
And this one.
Awesome. You said some of these were for other people?
I have 2 pieces, one for Annika and one for Riley.
Very cool.
And then the rest of them, I have 24 total pieces that'll be available at the Vintage Junkie, along with some other art that she already has of mine. So,
And we can always follow you on your Facebook page and see what you're up to.
Yeah, at The Talented Brittany on Facebook.
Nice.
And Instagram.
Now she's into producing movies or TV shows. So thank you for doing that. You did a great job for our first episode last week.
Thanks.
All right. I'm going to throw it down to Aurora. What you been up to?
Well, we recently just got Netflix in my house. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix. I moved my gym equipment from outside covered in snow to inside. Today's my little brother's birthday, so I spent all day baking a cake for him and wrapping his present, which is covered in a lot of duct tape. And that's really all I've been doing. And coloring here and there, and then teaching him sign language every now and then. We've been playing some board games.
I think it's awesome that you've taken on homeschooling responsibilities for your little brother, or some of them. You're stepping it up. It's sweet.
Well, I feel like sign language is really important, and it's something people should know, because you'd be surprised how many people in our community are deaf, and so to communicate with them, make them feel welcomed is pretty amazing feeling.
Seems how I communicate with my 2-year-old daughter. We got the please down and the milk, and really helpful. Very cool.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right into interviewing Tina. I want to introduce Tina Ferringer with F&H Fitness. I've been looking up to her company since she started. I'm so impressed. A few things that Tina's been there for us with the salon and Unified Beauty and Beer and Wigs. She's helped raise thousands of dollars and bring her team to our events over the last year. And really, the events, I would call Tina and be like, hey, I need some support. And she'd be like, I got you, no problem. And just stepped up every time. It was just amazing how quick and easy it is to work with F&H Fitness. I just love it. One of the reasons why I look up to her business is because it's continually evolving. There's a curve in the road, she figures it out, she straightens it out, and it's just really amazing to watch. Now she's doing some virtual training, which has been really cool to see. And I love waking up in the morning. I follow them on all social media, and I'm inspired by her team. It gets me out of bed and wanting to work out. And I just love how she's healthy and such a strong business leader. So we're going to start off with Riley ask Tina a question, if you'd like.
So I guess my first question is, I know that you guys do a lot of spin for causes, especially since you've done a couple for us. So what made you want to start doing that?
Number one, I got into business to help people. That's the whole reason that I got into business. And so we had this vision, myself and my manager, Alicia, who's been with me from the beginning. We had this vision of collaborating maybe with other businesses around town and doing this big spin event in downtown Fairbanks. We just had this vision, people would be walking by and we'd have tons of bikes out there. And so I was at the gym in Fairbanks a couple years ago, and I had 2 clients come up to me and say, hey, one of our friend's daughters really needs help financially with treatment. And, right in that moment, I knew what I was supposed to do. And we were supposed to create an event outside that was going to be a fundraiser. And so then I just started figuring out, how do we raise this kind of money? How do we do this? And that first year, Spin for Quinn, we raised over $30,000 for medical bills, because they were trying new experimental treatments which weren't covered under insurance. And then from there, we've done Spin for suicide prevention, and last year we did for addiction, and we just did our first Spin for a Cause here in Anchorage in the Diamond Mall. I don't know if we'll ever be asked to come back because it was really loud, but it was amazing. And then I haven't really officially released this, with everything that's going on, we were going to release, but we're going to be working to raise funds for domestic violence this summer. So that's where our cause is going to go to this year. But we've also worked with Scott, we did a WIGS ride, and we've done BCDC rides. I mean, I'm always open to helping the community. That's a big reason why I own a business, is to be able to have that platform to help others. So I'm just grateful to be able to be in a position to help in that way. So I love it.
Yeah, I totally get that. I love that. And I love that you guys have already made a plan for your next ones. Scott's talked to, I'm sure. Domestic violence is a super big thing that I stand for. So I love that. Yeah. I know you have your studio in Anchorage and then North Pole and in Fairbanks. Do you ever want to branch out to the lower 48, or are you just going to stay in Alaska?
So I actually closed my North Pole location. I don't know if you knew that. But it actually was probably perfect timing with everything that's going on now. It's amazing how things just kind of work out that way. Branching out, I've really asked myself this question many times. I've had a lot of ideas. I think I'm in a place in my life where I'm ready to maybe move on to different things, always be in the fitness industry because that's what I love.
Right.
But I definitely am interested in more public speaking and things like that. So I don't know if opening more studios is doable if I have other dreams and goals of writing a book and doing all those things. So I can just say I'm not sure. Something that's really cool is that we wanted to do virtual for a really long time, and we tried to launch an app that just wasn't doing well. You got to try things and see what works. And so now being in the virtual world, it's amazing because it's better than anything that I could have dreamed of, I guess. And sometimes circumstances line up to where it pushes you to do things that you wanted to do and people have asked you for, but when do you have the time to set up a home garage and teach virtual classes?
Right.
I think maybe if we expand, and I don't know how this would all work, but maybe we would expand virtually is my thought.
Okay.
I feel like I could reach more people and the startup for business wouldn't be so demanding.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Totally get that.
You becoming an influential speaker, I'd called Tina about coming to Unified Beauty this year and doing a business class and speaking to business owners and other like-minded people. And I was really bummed that we had to put that on hold, but immediately she's like, yeah, I would love to come and talk. And I just
love it. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Sure.
Cool. Annika, what you got?
Hi, Tina. All right. So I was going to ask, obviously, fitness is a big part of your work life, but how do you incorporate fitness into your day-to-day home life?
Yeah. Oh, I love that question. I'm going to be 100% honest. I work a lot. To be a business owner, and I'm sure Scott feels this, and a lot of you too, I typically, when I opened Anchorage, I would be driving to Anchorage twice a day to teach. So my work has taken a lot of my family time away. So with this question, I would say recently, because it's a big purpose of mine to have a fit and healthy family, right? We've been going outside every day and going on walks. And I think the thing about this is my children see me as a strong businesswoman, but also somebody that is extremely passionate about health and fitness. So I think how I bring it into my household is by just leading by example Do I get the quality time to get to go do all these things and hit every basketball game? I wish. And at some point in business, I would love to. But I think leading by example for my kids has been everything. And a really cool opportunity during this quarantine is, I usually teach off the bike and then I have somebody on the bike. And my daughter's 12 and she has been my ride or die. And so she comes to spin classes with me. My kids, I have a son too, and my husband, they come to spin with me every Sunday when I was in the studio, and now they spin with me here. So a lot of times they have to come to work with me to have that fitness lifestyle right now, and we're making it work, you know? So that's kind of how we've done that,
Yeah, trying to move it more into balancing the two, but since you are, you own the business, you have to work. So it's good though that you're including your family into that. So I love that. But that kind of flows us into the other question I have. Since obviously you put so much of your heart and soul into the business, what advice would you give for somebody wanting to open up their own business, whether it be fitness or whatever? What would just some basic tips you would give?
Okay, number one, you better love what you're doing. Number one, because I don't think that people realize how hard business is until they get into business. They have this idea that you're going to be an overnight sensation. It takes years to become an overnight success, and so it's going to be hard. You're going to be hit with things that you never could even conceptualize before opening a business. Like in our business, we've had roof fall down. We've had huge crisis, a huge earthquake here, and our pipes burst in the building here in Anchorage. I mean, just things that you have to be so passionate that those things aren't going to stop you. So your purpose and your passion has to be undeniable, number one. So if you're getting into it for money, you're never going to last. That's not why you get into business. So number one, you got to love what you do. Number two, you have to be really mindful of who's in your inner circle. And this is something that I really learned because I'm definitely a person that loves people and I only see the good. And so I figured that was one of my really weak zones. That's a blind spot for me as a business owner. So making sure that I have other people around me that are way stronger in those things that I'm not good at, right? So I've got to be really mindful of surrounding myself with people that are going to be honest, that have good motives, and that level me up as an owner and will call me out on my BS, truly, and just be like, Tina, hey, this is where we're at. Let's go. So your inner circle is huge, and just like your team. I mean, that's what I'm saying when I'm saying inner circle is your team just has to be rock solid. And the other thing is growth. You as a business owner, you have to be willing to grow every day because business is always from the top down. So if you're not growing, if you're not learning, how can you expect anyone else around you to be doing the same thing? So it's leadership by example. So you got to hold your own feet to the fire. So those are probably just the top three that I can think of right now if you want to open a business.
Yeah, live and breathe your business and then just make sure you're surrounding yourself with good people. Yeah, awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, business, it's wild. It's a roller coaster. I think that if you're going to be a business owner, you kind of are a thrill seeker.
Totally.
All right, unmute Brittany here.
All right. So at your Spin for the Wigs event, I had so much fun there. It was a blast. My favorite part was your music. I could definitely wake up at 5 o'clock every morning just to listen to the music. It was so badass. Okay. So that being said, what are your top 5 favorite songs to work out to?
Oh my gosh. So it's so hard. So I'm such a lover of music and singing, and I cannot sing, and I love to dance, and it's not that cute, but I love music. And so some of my favorite songs, I definitely am about the feeling that music gives me, for sure, hands down. So as you can see, I got Tupac. So Changes by Tupac is honestly one of my ultimate favorites. I will play that song out. I don't care. It's just, it does something. It gives me chills every time I hear it. also a song that just like speaks to me is "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. I don't know if you guys know that song. Like that song is just so everything. And then I love Macklemore. So "Can't Hold Us" by Macklemore, but also anything 2000s. Like if you give me some Too Short, some Missy Elliott, some Nelly, like I am about that life. But some new music I love, like I love Meg Thee Stallion, Savage right now, like that's my jam. We do a lot of choreo to that. I love Drake. So I really am pretty eclectic, but definitely hip hop is probably like that's my heart. That's kind of where I always go back to. That's what gets me really fired up.
Awesome. You didn't give a shout out to Biggie behind you.
And I know, no, Biggie's like, he hypnotized. Like I could just go on and on about Biggie. And people always ask me like, who do you like better, Biggie or Tupac? Tupac's like, he speaks to my soul a little bit more. I mean, I love them both, but Tupac, he was such a leader at that time, and just, man, he did so much for the Black community. So yeah, I love them both, but that's my heart for sure.
Did your husband do those art pieces?
He did. So when everything hit the fan, I acted like this. I mean, in business too, you have to be so dynamic. And so right when all this stuff happened, I came into the garage and I'm like, I have to turn this into a studio within like 3 hours. And so we got black sheets, we stapled them up, and Sean went and took our artwork down from our Anchorage studio. I grabbed lights, I grabbed, everything I could grab, and we set our little home gym up because I don't have internet in Anchorage. So it just worked out perfect that I could do it at home. But yeah, he does all of our artwork at FNA. So I'm a very lucky wife.
That's awesome. Those are so good. I love them.
Thank you.
So I have a daughter who's 10, and she likes to sit on her iPhone all day long and do absolutely nothing. And this quarantine doesn't help that at all. So besides cheer, like how else can I like motivate her to get up and be active and do stuff?
So do you guys go outside like on walks and things like that?
No, I don't like the outdoors.
Honestly, like during this quarantine, I set serious intention and goals. And I take my kids outside and my dog every day, even if it's like a 20-minute walk. Movement changes the mind. Like we know that, but I really think that movement and getting fresh air truly has a spiritual connection, right? And so when I do those things with my kids, I notice they want to eat healthier. And then they start to crave that, right? And then you're getting your vitamin D. So an easy way I would say right now is if you guys just make like an intentional 10, 15-minute like little walk around your block. That's all you need. And then you guys are going to start to crave that. And you'll notice she will too. She'll probably be hesitant at first, but then she's going to start to crave it and be like, Mom, let's go on a walk, so that's how you can motivate her. Because, my kids can be the same way, but I think making them at first get outside has been such a game changer during this time right now.
Cool. I'll try that.
Okay, cool.
She's going to hate me, but I know how to do it.
Like they hate us anyway, so let's get them out.
Exactly. Cool.
That's very cool. Throw it down to Aurora.
Hi. So my questions for you are, how do you help people stay motivated to exercise and keep pushing forward? What are some?
Yeah. So I would state I've been in the fitness industry. I've been doing this since 2004, my senior year of college. And, I graduated with a degree in exercise sports science, and I totally wish I would have done psychology, because at the end of the day, when it comes to motivation, it has to be bigger than trying to get to a number on a scale. It does not work. So trying to get people to understand the root issue and their why. It can't be like, well, I want to be a size 4. Well, that's only going to keep you motivated for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Like, that doesn't matter. Aesthetics isn't what it's about. What it's about is, what is your why? My why is I want to be around for my kids and be healthy. What is a bigger motivator than just an aesthetic? So setting goals that are definitely more internal is number one, because aesthetics, honestly, at the end of the day, don't matter. You know, I mean, I think we all think they do. But when you're on your deathbed, are you thinking about that? No, you're thinking if you lived a good life, if you were kind to people, if you were healthy, those things, that's all that matters. And so just trying to kind of pull that from people. So that's how I motivate. They might think I use F&H as like a cover up. Okay. So it's kind of my realm, but what I do more is I think more spiritual healing is how I look at it. And I don't share that a lot because I don't ever want people to think it's some like woo-woo thing, but truly what it really comes down to is when they're walking in the door, we might set goals and it might be numbers at first. But then when we start saying positive affirmations and we get these people to actually love themselves and care for themselves and start to want to bless their body with the food they're eating because they're worthy of good food and they're worthy of being healthy, that's when true change occurs. So I would say, yeah, I do a lot of goal setting with numbers at first until that keeps them consistent for the first couple months. But then I hope that when they come to class and when they're training with me, they understand the more spiritual aspect of it, which is you're so much more than just that. Like, I want people to be motivated to be around and be healthy because they're worthy of it.
I love that. Because, you know, right now it's kind of hard for people to find their motivation. It is way easier to sit there and click the button on the Netflix, on the internet, stuff like that, than it is to actually get up and exercise. So I love that. Because, you know, you could say, I want to be a size 2, I want to be a size 2, but that doesn't necessarily go like that, you know? So I love that. What was your turning point in deciding to make this a career for yourself?
So in 2004, I was my senior year of college. I was trying to find a job in Newport Coast, California. That's where I started my career. And there was a brand new personal training studio opening. My degree is in exercise sports science with an emphasis in physical education. So I thought I was going to be a teacher because my heart was for kids and helping impact in a healthy way with children. But when I started doing this internship at this personal training studio, what I realized is that, wow, I could have an impact on all people. And if I impact the adults, then hopefully that will trickle down and impact their children also. So that was a huge turning point for me my senior year of college. I was about 21 and I just decided, man, I think this is my strength zone. Like, I think this is where I'm supposed to go with it, was into personal training. And so that's kind of when it all started, was then just knowing that I could help everybody rather than just a certain group of people.
And cause a chain reaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Well, those are some great questions. I got a couple for you. You know, speaking on like how you speak spiritually, I know you don't really necessarily bring up the conversation of God and everything during your, not service, but during your spin. But when you had the spin for wigs, I walked out of there feeling like I just went to church. Like, I not only felt good about my body, but I just felt good about myself and about my team that was there, that was pushing themselves. And, you know, you gave us some good affirmations at it. And, you know, you guys just do a wonderful job of that. I also been watching you start your company from the beginning. I think you were at a couple other gyms doing more training for those gyms, and then opening up your studio and then taking on employees. And at that point, there's a big switch where it's not just about you and your client anymore. It's about you and your employees. So my question is how do you engage your team to always level up?
Yeah. So what I've learned is that the hardest person to lead is yourself. Point blank, the hardest person to lead is yourself. So I can't lead a team if I don't lead myself. So I'm very intentional about growing myself. So some things that I do daily is I'll listen to podcasts, or I'll be reading leadership books, or whatever that may look like. So first I've got to lead myself, and then that has an impact on our team. Some other things is, I talk a lot to my team. So we have a lot of conversations and goal setting and things like that. So I definitely lead in that way. But again, same with my kids, like with our team, it's leadership by example. So whatever space I'm at, really trying to be intentional about adding value to everybody around me in that moment, whatever that is. And so what I've seen it do is, seriously, like when this crisis happened or when we dealt with other things, they take leadership well, and they're so coachable, and I make sure I get people that are very coachable, and they just like jump right on board and are just so amazing. Without the team that we have, there is no way we could be doing what we're doing right now. So without them, we wouldn't have a business. They're truly amazing. But I think that's it, is leadership by example is probably the most powerful thing ever. And so being really intentional with that. So making sure that I'm growing every day, I think that's the strongest thing that you can do for your team, is make sure you're growing and you're doing all the things.
Awesome. It's pretty cool that you're able to do it from 365 miles away too.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients we have a lot of clients in common. I get to do their hair and get a chat with them, and they get to tell me how awesome it is to watch these young girls come into your company and evolve into leaders. And I've been watching that myself, and it's pretty cool. So kudos for you for growing other people. You kind of answered this question a little bit, but being a leader in your company, where do you get coached? How do you get that?
I've got a couple people that I really look up to. John Maxwell is like the guru of leadership. And last year I decided that my main goal was I was going to become the best leader that I could be. And so I started reading his books and listening to his podcasts every single day. It had such a tremendous impact on me as a leader. So he has no idea. He has no idea who I am, but I know who he is, and I know all of his stuff. And he blows my mind with concepts. And so he's been a huge, awesome influence on my life. Also, I have people like my mom, who's a phenomenal businesswoman. She brings more of like that hard-nosed approach to business, where I'm totally could be like more of a softie with it. And so, I have these people in my life that can really kind of speak into helping me with big decisions. And then recently, my goal this year is to become a boss-ass businesswoman. And that's what I've been saying. Like, I want to focus on the business part. Like, I want to get good at the business part, right? And so this year I hired a business coach. And so with it, I started right before all this craziness happened, I hired a business coach. So what I find though is hard for me, and one of my faults, is that I'm so used to doing everything by myself that in times like this, when I should be reaching out to a mentor, I just do it. And then I'm like, why am I making it so hard on myself? I have a mentor, reach out more. But I just think I'm so used to so I'm trying to get better at leaning on mentors a little bit more than just thinking I have to do it all on my own. I think we do that as women, probably like, oh, I got this, I don't need help. And maybe it's pride, and maybe that's a weakness. I don't know. But so yeah, I have a business coach too. I just need to utilize it more.
That's awesome. I love working. I have a business coach as well, and it's nice to have that feedback and somebody to bounce ideas off. I think being an entrepreneur, sometimes you just think you're right, but maybe there's a different angle you should approach at it. But yeah, that's great.
Something else that I should tell you, Scott, that I've been doing, which has been really cool, is that John Maxwell recommends that if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. And when he said that, that just was right. And so I started thinking of people in the community that are way better at business, that are way smarter, that are way kinder, just better, right? And I started reaching out and just scheduling meetings with them. And then I have a series of 7 questions that I ask. And then I just learn from them and I write notes. And then at the end, I ask how I can add value to them, if there's any way that I can add value to them. Too, so just stating on that point, like, that was huge for me. Because I learned a lot. And one of the things, this is what reminded me of it, you just said it, is a good friend of mine, Jess. She said, you don't know everything. You know, and when she told me that, I was like, girl, you're right, but I think I know everything. You know? So anyways, it's just been a really cool journey to collaborate with people like you and learn and grow from your business and other people in the community. It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We love working with you guys too. Thanks, Tina, for joining us. How can we follow you?
You guys can follow us through our website, fhfitnessstudio.com, or through Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you
Bye.
so much for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks for coming.
You too. Thanks.